Alright guys, this is Rochelle here on the basics of an HD the TV. I've got my lovely co-host here, Miss Leslie Camille, and today we're bringing you the basics of football.
Alright, let's get right to it. That way we can give you a quick understanding of football so that you can impress your friends, family, and the men in your life.
Alrighty, let's get started. First up, the objects of the game. I know most of you probably look at the game and wondering, what are all these guys doing? It looks like organized chaos. But there is a purpose. The entire purpose of the game is to score as many points as you and your team can, while at the same time preventing the other team from scoring any points. You want to make sure your team is the one on top in the end.
Now, we'll take a look at the field. That big playing space that you see all the guys running on, it's worth of 120 yards. There's 100 yards of playing field and 10 yards of end zone, which are the big painted ends at the end of the field. That's where everybody's trying to get to.
That's where you want to try to score a touchdown.
Okay.
As you can see, though, the field starts on each end at 0. So from the end zone, she's got 0, and they meet in the middle at the 50-yard line. That is the most beloved place of the game. Trust me, when you're watching, it's the best place to be. You're right in the middle of the action. You can see everything.
Now, we'll talk about the actual players. There are 3 sub-teams of a football team: the offense, the defense, and special teams. Leslie's going to tell you a little bit about the offensive line.
The offense is going to be comprised of 11 players. You always want to make sure that no matter what, your team only has 11 players on the field. Otherwise, it's
flag on the play.
But first up, the offense. On the offense, those are going to be the guys, their sole purpose is to get you touchdowns. Yeah, they can get a couple other points some other ways, but touchdowns are gold. That's where you want to be. That's when you get to the end zone. And on the offense, you're going to have the quarterback. That's the guy with the ball. He's going to be throwing to your wide receivers, your tight ends. Those are the guys that catch the ball and run and try not to get tackled, all that fun stuff. Then you've got the running back. Most of the time what's going to happen is the quarterback is going to hand off to the running back, and the running back is out of there. They're going to do their best to get down the field, too, and to get you those downs and distances that we'll talk about a little bit later. Next up, you've got the offensive line. The offensive line is probably the best part of your offense because they're going to protect your quarterback. They're making sure that guy is to be able to stand up and isn't knocked on his butt, getting sacked all the time. They're making sure you guys can score your touchdown.
And then we have the defense. We love them. They keep the other guys from scoring actual points. And remember, they're trying to get the ball back for their team. They do this through things like takeaways, interceptions, or forced fumbles.
Bye, ball. It is ya. Next up, you have special teams. Special teams, they do a couple different things. You've got kicks and punt returns. Their whole sole purpose is to run up and down the field, trying to tackle each other, tackle whoever has the ball where you're trying to do kickoff. Trust me, it's not complicated, but it's not the most important part of the game. It's there. You
Not
do.
as special as it sounds.
For all my friends that I know that are special teams players, I still love you. Still got you in my heart. Next up, we're going to go over downs and distances. This is probably one of the most important parts of understanding football because it's going to show you what's going on during the game. First up, you've got 4 chances, known as downs, to get 10 yards. The field, like we were saying earlier, is divided up into 10, so you're just trying to move along 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards. This is going to take some math, though, because as you're subtracting for the catches and runs and stuff like that, you're going to have to make sure to take that away from 10. So it's like you'll have first and 10, second and 7. That means on the first down you got 3. So you got to make sure you're doing that. Great thing, though, is once you get those 10, you get another 10. So you've got 4 more chances to get down the field. The whole purpose is to use all of those up to get all the way down the field for you a touchdown.
Now we'll talk about the different types of scoring that there are. Of course, we told you about the touchdown, which is worth 6 points. Oftentimes after a touchdown, you'll see the kicker walk onto the field. He sets up to kick the football through those 2 lovely things called the goal post. That's what we call a point after, or a field goal, which is worth 1 point. Not to be confused with the field goal that men kick when they just can't get to the end zone. That's worth 3 points. We also have what is called the 2-point conversion. This is what the men will use put the nail in the coffin to let you know that it's over and it's not going to happen for you boys today. They decide to not take the point after kick, but instead to try to get it back into the end zone for another 2 points. We also have what is called the safety. This is something that does not happen often, but should you ever see the quarterback of one team get sacked by the opposing team in an end zone, the opposing team has then scored 2 points.
Alrighty, ladies. Well, that is the basics of football for you today. However, if there are any more questions, we didn't go over something that you really want us to talk about, make sure to send either of us an email. I'm at lrochelle@hardwooddiva.com.
And I'm at Leslie Camille at hardwooddiva.com.
And we're going to make sure to answer those questions for you next week. So we're going to have a question and answer portion of the basics of football. Thank you, ladies, for watching. And like I said, any questions, hit us up. We'll answer them for you.
See ya!